December 19th, 2016, Columbus, Ohio suburb. Sunny afternoon. This guy with a science degree is driving with his kid when a gray creature dive bombs their car, barely 6 feet away from the windshield. Leathery wings, bumps on the skin, claws on its feet, and a long tail whipping behind it. They both see it, clear as day, 100% real. Then, in 2021, he spots another, much smaller one with his wife. Uh-oh. I'm Uncle Perry. I don't just tell stories, I dig up the fucked up ones most folks are too chicken shit to talk about. And I do it in a cavalier kind of way. When it comes to cryptids, I chase down the truth behind the legends. Today, we're going balls deep into the pterodactyl outbreak that's been going on in Ohio. This is fucking wild. Oh, hell yeah. You know what time it is. It's time to crack a beer. Hang on to your ass. Let's get it. Back in 2022, I did a video on Texas pterodactyls. I'll leave a link down in the distraction. I learned that these fucking things were being seen by all kinds of folks. Then I saw where other eyewitnesses from 2005 through 2009 saw very similar creatures in many other states, including Kansas, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, South Carolina, Ohio, Georgia, and Florida. Shit. Ohio's got its share of weird-ass creatures that's been spotted, like the Loveland Frogman, Mothman, the Ohio Grassman, Mud Mermaids, and the Melonheads, to name a few. But now, the pterodactyl sightings are blowing up. December 19th, 2016, in a suburb of Columbus, Ohio, in the middle of the day. This isn't coming from someone who doesn't know the difference between a hawk and a parakeet. The witness has a Bachelor of Science in entomology. That's someone who studies insects for a living. Someone trained to observe details. Someone who understands anatomy, classification, wings, membranes, segmentation. He knows the whole goddamn animal kingdom. And this dude is driving with his son when something gray drops out of the sky and dive bombs his car. Not circling, not gliding peacefully around. Dive bombs it. He said it came straight at the windshield and they couldn't have been more than 6 or 7 feet away from it. 6 or 7 feet. That ain't shit. That's the distance from your couch to your TV. He said the damn thing was as clear as day, gray skin, no feathers, and you could see the texture, bumps. It was so fucking close, he could see surface detail on the skin. It had claws on its feet, not tucked up like a bird, visible claws. He didn't notice a tail in that split second, but his son did. His son said he saw it whip the tail around as it pulled up. Long tail, sharp pointed tip, just a tip. His son said he saw it whip the tail around as it pulled up. Long tail, sharp pointed tip at the end. Both of them clearly witnessed it. Same event, same creature. Then, years later in March 2021, the same dude sees another one, this time with his wife. Only something was different. This one was smaller, not nearly as big as his first encounter. And you know, I can't help but raise an eyebrow at that and think, if it's smaller and it's years later, what does that suggest? early 2014, around 7 in the morning, again in Columbus, Ohio. It's still that gray-blue part of the morning where the sun's up, but everything feels quiet and half asleep. A woman and her daughter are standing at a bus stop along Westerville Road. Just a normal weekday, waiting on the bus, traffic starting to pick up. Nothing weird, nothing dramatic. And then, out of fucking nowhere, something flies past them. Not high up in the clouds, not a tiny speck. Low enough, close enough, big enough that it makes you look twice. She said the size alone made her stomach drop. This goddamn thing wasn't crow-sized. It wasn't hawk-sized. She described its wingspan as the same width of Westerville Road, a standard 2-lane road. That's massive as hell. That's not large bird territory. That's holy fucking shit. What the hell is that? Territory. And when it passed, she saw its mouth. Teeth, clear as day. Even teeth, top and bottom. Not a beak. Not a hooked bill. Teeth. And she was specific. They were uniform, straight across. FYI, birds do not have fucking teeth. Period. She also described a leathery skin, not feathers, wings shaped like triangles, and 3 visible fingers with claws supporting the membrane. And the tail? Shorter with a pronounced triangle shape at the end, almost like a pointed rudder. Could it have been some massive-ass non-native bat? Shit! It would have had to have been a monster of a bat. Because what she described wasn't normal. Not even close. March 18, 2017. Once again in Columbus, Ohio. Broad fucking daylight. This wasn't some shadow at dusk or something half seen in the trees. This was a warm, sunny afternoon. Clear sky. Excellent visibility. The kind of day where you've got the windows cracked, music low, just cruising down the highway with traffic moving steady around you. Nothing dramatic, nothing eerie. Just normal, chill Ohio life rolling along under a bright blue sky. And then the driver looks up. At first, it's just movement against the sky. Something big. Bigger than it should be. It's not flapping frantically like a bird trying to gain altitude. It's already way up there, just gliding. And as it crosses over the highway and gets a little closer, the shape becomes clearer from below. The wings are long, stretched, not feathered, not layered, not fluttering at the tips. They look smooth and taut, like skin pulled tight from shoulder to wingtip. The wingspan looks massive from that vantage point, easily wider than the length of a car. And it isn't soaring in lazy circles like a vulture riding thermals. It's moving with purpose, cutting through the open sky in a steady, controlled glide with occasional flaps every 2 or 3 seconds. From underneath, the body looks narrow but solid, and the head, that's what locks it in. There's a distinct crest sweeping back from the skull. Not a suggestion of one, not, maybe that's a trick of light. A clear, pronounced crest that changes the entire silhouette into something prehistoric. Something you don't expect to see over a Columbus highway in 2017. The driver keeps watching it as long as they can, tracking it through the windshield. It doesn't flap much, maybe a single, deep, heavy push of the wings, slow and powerful, before settling back into that glide. No frantic wing beats. No frantic wing beats. No wobbling. Just this smooth, confident movement across open air. Traffic keeps flowing underneath it, completely unaware. As for sound, that's the strange part. There isn't any obvious call. No bird cry. No screech echoing down from above. If there was noise, it was subtle, maybe the faintest rush of displaced air, but nothing sharp or recognizable. Mostly it was silent, and that silence made it feel even bigger. The sighting lasts several long seconds, not a blink and it's gone moment. Long enough to register details, long enough for the driver's brain to start racing, long enough to grab a phone and try to capture it. Well, that's not how you capture it. You got to long enough to grab a phone and try to capture it as it moves further off the highway corridor and toward a line of trees in the distance. It doesn't dive. It doesn't spiral. It doesn't flap wildly. It glides, and then it gradually lowers in altitude, angling toward a wooded area beyond the roadway. From the driver's perspective, it seems to descend behind the tree line, disappearing from view like it slipped back into something hidden just beyond sight. And that's it. Bright sun, warm air, midday traffic, Columbus, Ohio. Something with membranous wings and a pronounced crest flew over a modern highway in March 2017. When you watch the footage and you hear the witness describe it, there's no hesitation in their voice, no joking tone, no, maybe it was this energy. They believe what they saw. They know what they saw. And when you stack this on top of the other Ohio sightings, different witnesses, different parts of town, same damn description, it stops feeling random. It starts feeling like a pattern. And that's when things get really interesting. August 5th, 2009. Front page of the Antwerp Bee Argus. Not buried in the back next to the fucking classifieds. Front page. And what made it there wasn't a fucking bake sale or a town council meeting. It was a live pterodactyl sighting. The headline straight up read, "Strange flying creature seen near Antwerp." That's the kind of shit you expect in a tabloid, not in a small town Ohio paper. But I'll be damned, there it was. The report goes back to the summer of 2003 when a young man saw something flying over the Maumee River near the Route 49 bridge in Antwerp, Ohio. Broad fucking daylight. He described it like a pterosaur, not a big bird, not some weird crane, a pterosaur. He said it was chasing sparrows in midair, actively maneuvering over the river like it was hunting. That alone is wild as hell. Author Jonathan Whitcomb later interviewed the witness, allowing him to stay anonymous under the initials ZJ. According to that interview, the creature was about 10 feet long, including a long tail. 10 goddamn feet. That's not small. Whitcomb asked him directly about feathers. The answer? Absolutely no feathers. None. And then the detail that keeps punching you in the face. It had teeth. Teeth! Once again, birds don't have teeth. This Antwerp sighting ended up being selected as one of only a couple of dozen reports Whitcomb considered especially credible and revealing. He's pointed out that about 80% of U.S. pterosaur sightings describe a long tail, arguing that kind of consistency doesn't sound like a random prank. He even compared the Maumee River creature to the ropin reported in Papua New Guinea. Small town, Ohio. River bridge. 10-foot flying creature with teeth. That shit's not normal. This one comes out of Vandalia, Ohio, along Rip Rap Road. And it's the kind of story someone carries for decades. Tim says he was about 9 years old at the time. He's 32 now. And he was out fishing with his mom and stepdad by the river. Just a normal day, poles in the water, chilling the fuck out. He was scanning the tree line the way kids do when they're waiting on something to bite. And that's when he saw it. Across the river, perched on a tree branch, like it had no fucks to give, was what he says was a straight-up pterodactyl. Not a big bird, not a weird-looking crane, a pterodactyl. He remembers the shape of it, the posture, the way it sat there solid and real against the branches. This wasn't some quick blur in the sky. It was perched, still, visible. Long enough for him to process what he was looking at and feel that jolt of holy shit running through him. He did what any kid would do. He ran to grab his mom to show her. When you see something impossible, you want backup. You want validation. They turned back toward the tree and it's fucking gone. Just gone. No dramatic takeoff. No feathers floating down. Not jack shit. And ever since then, people have brushed it off. They said it was a dream. Some said he imagined it. But he says he's always known what he saw. Years later, when a friend sent him information about the ropin, something clicked. He'd never even heard the term before. But the description matched what he remembered. And instead of feeling crazy, he felt vindicated. Like maybe, just maybe, he wasn't the only one seeing this shit. Of course, there are always the naysayers. Misidentified herons, cranes, or giant bats. They love that explanation. It's just a bird, they say, or a bat caught in a weird light. And sure, birds and bats can do some weird shit in the air. I get it. But when multiple witnesses describe the same fucking creature with leathery wings, claws, a long-ass tail, and even teeth, sorry, that's not a goddamn blue heron flapping around. Then they jump to the tech side. Drones, CGI, AI. It's a drone shaped like a pterosaur. Look, I love tech as much as anyone, but try dive bombing a drone to within 6 feet from a windshield of a moving car and then try to pull up without wrecking your drone and see how far that theory gets you. Oh, of course, some videos could be fake, sure, but a witness reporting details like claws, skin texture, and tails that whip around? You can't CGI that shit onto a moving target everyone sees in real time. And don't get me started on the lighting excuses. Trick of the light, camera angles, lens flares. They throw that shit around like that explains everything. But the witness sees it directly, not through a shaky phone camera. They describe it with confidence, and it's consistent across years, cities, and sightings. That's not imagination, that's observation. So, yeah, skeptics have their explanations. Birds, bats, drones, light tricks, CGI, and AI. But when you stack the sightings together, watch the videos, and listen to the people who saw this fucker up close, you start thinking maybe the skeptics aren't seeing the whole picture. Look, I get why people roll their eyes when they hear pterosaurs. In Ohio? Really? But hear me out. These aren't maybe I saw a bird stories. We're talking multiple witnesses, sometimes in broad fucking daylight, sometimes at night, sometimes across different cities and years. Drivers, kids, parents, scientists, they're all saying the same goddamn thing. Huge flying creatures, leathery wings, long tails, claws, teeth, pronounced crests. That's not a heron flapping around all weird. That's not a bat. That's something that shouldn't exist. And yet, it does. It doesn't take long until you start to see a pattern. So, what's the explanation if it's real? It could be a population of surviving prehistoric flyers that have gone undetected for centuries, slipping through forests, rivers, and rural Ohio while the rest of us go about our daily lives. They're cautious. They've learned how to stay hidden from humans, but they're still here. Not drones, not CGI, not tricks of the light. Real living creatures, flying, gliding, alive. And the detail in the witness accounts solidly backs that up. Skin texture, tail movement, claws, teeth, shit that you can't fake in the moment. Ohio's landscapes, its forests, its rivers, its isolated patches give them cover. And the sightings aren't just random. They're consistent across decades. Same goddamn description, same behavior, same anatomy. This isn't coincidence. This isn't a bird. This isn't a bat. This isn't someone's imagination running fucking wild. This is real. And until someone proves otherwise, something prehistoric is absolutely still out there, and Ohio is one of its hiding spots. Ohio's landscape with its forests and rivers could conceivably allow for a large, elusive creature to go unnoticed, although definitive evidence still remains elusive. When you look at the sheer amount of woodlands, river corridors, and rural stretches of land, it ain't hard to imagine a hidden giant slipping through, flying under the radar while the rest of us go about our daily lives. Maybe it's a relic. Maybe it's something we've never cataloged. Either way, the state has a long history of strange critters that keeps the imagination spinning. From pterosaurs to Bigfoot to frog-faced river monsters. The people telling these stories ain't bullshitting. They're ordinary folks. Drivers, kids, parents, scientists, people who describe exactly what they saw with no hesitation or embellishment. That's the part that gets under your skin. You can argue perspective, light, or memory, but when multiple witnesses, years apart, describe something flying with leathery wings, long tails and sharp crests, it starts feeling less like coincidence and more like mounting evidence. And the way these encounters are scattered across the state, yet share eerily similar details, it's enough to make you pause, take a breath, and wonder what the hell could exist right over your head while you're sipping coffee or driving down the highway. Whether it's something surviving from prehistoric times, some unrecognized modern creature, or just your brain fucking with you, the stories stick. They grab your curiosity and don't let go. And that's the magic. Call it coincidence. Call it confusion. But when the same creature keeps showing up decade after decade, city after city, at some point you stop asking if it's real and start asking, what happens next? Do you like weird-ass monsters and government conspiracies? Then tap that like button and subscribe. That way, you won't miss out on more of my fucked up commentary. And besides, I really do appreciate it. So, what do y'all think? Are pterodactyls still gliding around in the skies? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're ready to crank that shit all the way up to 11, that join button's got your name on it. The timing is all important there, ain't it? And if you're ready to crank that shit all the way up to 11, that join button's got your name on it. For just $2.99, you can have my back in a huge way. Until next time, y'all keep it real, keep it chill, and stay creepy! Catch you on the flip. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are the real beast.